Good morning, everybody. Joe Chacho here. Happy Monday to everybody. Got another exciting call for everybody. I've got Steve Ramsey, Director of Sales from United Home Life, on the phone with me. And I believe he's going to have one of the young ladies that works with him also to do some underwriting with us on the call. So before I get him on the line, I just want to tell you a story about that happened to me on Friday. Had an agent call me Friday and was like almost doing backflips and all excited and all happy and said, Joe, I'm so happy with this new daylight savings time. It's just really amazing how I feel more comfortable knocking on a house a little bit later at nighttime. I feel that I'm getting in front of more people now because I can actually go to a house at 7 or 7:30. And here's my point. It wasn't a man I was talking to, it was a young lady I was talking to. So when it comes to anybody, you got to be kind of safe where you go, daytimes, night times. Yeah, she said, Joe, I'm just so happy that it's getting dark a little bit later. She said, I already see my production going up because I'm able to catch people a little bit later at nighttime. She's made more sales, and she's also was able to make more appointments. So I'm excited for her, and I'm excited for all of us because the mere fact is daylight saving time gives us more time to work in the evening. So that was my story for today. So what I want to do, I want to open up Mr. Steve Ramsey. I had the pleasure of meeting him and his wife. Came in town about a month and a half ago. Had lunch with Henry and I, and really got to know him even better. Even though I met him about 10 years ago when we flew up to the home office where they are in Indiana. So without further ado, Steve, I'm going to open you up, and good morning.
Morning, Joe, and we have to speak on your conference call today. As Joe mentioned, I'm Steve Ramsey. I'm the Director of Marketing for the Independent Distribution Channel here for UHL and United Farm Family Life as well. We have two companies that I can explain a little bit. I'm actually joined Cindy. I had a conflict, needed to leave, so I drug Zach Shorter in here, who's our Senior National Marketing Advisor. And Zach, some of you may have spoken to Zach before. So Zach might chime in as things I miss. He's probably almost more of an expert than I am on this stuff. So anyway, what we're going to do is give you an overview of the companies. I'm going to talk rather quickly because I don't want to take up a lot of your time, and maybe give you some sales ideas that you can hopefully use. UHL, we've been in the life insurance business since 1948. Consistently in the simplified issue marketplace since 1990, over 3 decades of writing simplified issue non-medical insurance. Our parent company is United Farm Family Life. We do represent ourselves as UHL. In most states, there's about 7 states that we don't, that we represent ourselves as United Farm Family Life. Same company, same products, same material. We co-brand everything. So if you're wondering why it always says UFFL as well as UHL, that's the reason why. UFFL is our parent company. Combined, we're very solid companies, high ratings, A- for UHL, A from AM Best for UFFL, over a $2.3 billion of assets, very strong company to represent. We've spent several years refining, building the products, building portfolio for our customers, meaning policyholders and agents. Actually, I have a strong affinity for this business. I've been almost 34 years now in the independent distribution channel, working with agents like yourself. So I have a strong love for it and a lot of experience with it. Our theme at UHL is simple. We want to be as simple as possible, fast, easy, quick issue, simple products, and that hopefully is the theme that carries through this. If you're not seeing that, I want to hear about it. And believe me, we have slid a little bit in the past, and I get some good constructive feedback from producers, and we're working to even make it better. Our products, we have like I said, we're a simplified issue company. It seems like there's a lot of attention on the final expense lately. We focus on non-medical insurance, so we have a final expense whole life product series. We also have a simplified term product series, and we also, in addition to that, have an accidental death product, which is about as simple as it gets. So don't forget some of the other features besides final expense. Real quickly, the final expense product is kind of our mainstay. We go anything from a table 4, or actually a standard, all the way down to a guaranteed issue product. On our one app, we have 4 products on one app. So we keep it, like I said, we're trying to keep it simple. And the 4 products on the one app go from our Whole Life Premier, which is excellent for clients who have minor health issues. It's got a 2-year look back on heart, stroke, circulatory conditions, perfect for those clients who have what I call minor health issues, and actually a better rate. If you can answer a few more questions on that application, you can, if you answer all the questions, you get the Whole Life Premier. If you can't answer all the questions on the application, you might have to fall back to a Whole Life Deluxe. We call it the Whole Life Deluxe. It's for clients who have been previously declined, who are disabled, who are taking who have insulin-dependent diabetes. Once again, immediate death benefit. Premier and Deluxe, both products provide an immediate death benefit for your clients. And then if you can't answer the questions in the Premier and Deluxe, because there's certain knockout questions, you may have something that knocks you out, you can qualify for our graded benefit product, which is our Express Issue Whole Life. We call it EIWL. EIWL is a 2-year graded death benefit product, so you're not going to get the full death benefit until the 3rd year. But so if death occurs in the 1st year, it's going to return premium plus 12% interest. In the death in the 2nd year, it's going to return premium plus 24% interest. And of course, death by accident at any point in time, you're still going to pay the full death benefit. So those 3 products, Premier, Deluxe, and EIWL, are kind of the mainstay. And of course, if you can't answer any question, if you have a client that's uninsurable, what I call an uninsurable, they've had something in the past year, they've had a heart attack in the past year, they've had surgeries, they've been in hospital in the past year, they can't qualify and answer any questions, you can offer them our guaranteed issue Whole Life product, which has a 3-year graded period. It's a 6, 12, 18% return, depending on if death occurs in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd year. Once again, a true guaranteed issue. There's no questions. It's what you see maybe on TV by Alex Trebek. You cannot be turned down. You can get up to 10,000 of face on that. Outside of that, we have our provider product for standard risks, which has a lot of unique features. It's a longer application, and it'll go down to age 0. So you can juvenile coverage on our provider product. It's got 5 no-cost benefits in that product. A guaranteed curability rider for issue ages 0 to 17. It'll cover that. It's also got a cancer accelerated death benefit rider will advance up to 10% of the face amount if your insured's diagnosed with a life-threatening cancer. Once a couple of a charitable gift rider is on that, we'll pay a 1% of the face amount to your charity of choice on that product, as long as face amount is $25,000 or more. We've got your traditional common carrier accidental death rider and a terminal illness rider on that product. So don't overlook the fact that you've got a healthy client. We have what I call simplified issue non-medical product nicely. So if you've got clients anywhere from 0 to 80 that are healthy, can answer the questions, this is a great product to look at. On the other side, we've got for all type 2 diabetes, all qualify for our term portfolio and some very competitive rates. We also have a ROP, 20-year return of premium product. which is dynamite. And I don't know how to stress to folks. I mean, we did on our website, and Zach can probably give you this material too, but we stack up exceptionally well with anybody out there that has a return on premium product. A lot of companies don't have a return on premium product anymore. We do have it. We're going to continue to have it, and it is very competitive, and there's a lot of neat selling tools and sales ideas surrounding the ROP because you've got cash value in their return of premium term product. So once again, face amount 50,000, 200,000, you can get a return of premium product over a 20-year term. And all of the 20-year, 30-year, and the 20-year return of premium all have a free child rider benefit. So if it's a face amount of 100,000 or more, we throw in a free child rider, which is phenomenal. Covers all the children in the household. So keep that in mind as well. In addition to that, we have a unique product on the term side for your less healthy clients. It's a table I call Table 8. It's our 20-year DLX product. It will take insulin-dependent diabetics. It'll take previously declined, disabled, mental disorders such as schizophrenia, bipolar, all can qualify for our simple term 20 DLX. And once again, 50,000 to 200,000 a face is you get a lower premium in this. It's very similar to our whole life deluxe product, except it's on a 20-year term chassis. And last but not least, we have an accidental death product, standalone accidental death products. Each week is 18 to 60. You've got one application question on there. Basically, have you had any MVR, motor vehicle violations in the past 3 years, and are you participating in some hazardous sport or activity or occupation? But it is as close to guaranteed issue as possible. You can get 50,000, 35,000, 100,000 a face amount. The premium is exactly the same regardless of age, regardless of tobacco status, regardless of gender. Very affordable. Something you can, and I always said it should be an additional sale on top of a simplified issue term or a final expense a whole life. And it also has return of premium built into that. It also has an increasing definite. So it's a great product from that perspective. I encourage everyone to look at that one. In addition to our ROP term and 20 DLX. To wrap it up, kind of our strengths that I look at, experience. We've been in this a long time. We've got some high ratings from AM Best. We're national, 48 states plus DC is where we operate. Product line is simple. We've got day one coverage for declined, disabled, insulin-dependent diabetics. Competitive premiums, a very competitive application. E-app is I can't overemphasize the importance of e-app, and it is phenomenal. We use the IGO Internet Pipeline e-app system, and it is second to none. It is a great system. If you're not using e-app, we get a lot of use out of e-app, so keep that in mind. Where are those points here? Insulin-dependent diabetics are easy coverage with us, maybe not with somebody else. Our base amounts go down pretty low compared to a lot of the competitors. We have mobile quoting. If you're not using our mobile quoting, we don't have illustrations per se. We don't have to do our guarantees, but you can download our quote system. It's a simple little, or you don't download anything. You just add it to your iPhone or smartphone. And you can run quotes in a nice mobile formatted screen. And I know Zach can help you with that. I can help you with that. You can also check out our homepage or our website. Marketing material, and we've got a lot of stuff on our website. Incentive trips and level commissions on all products. So you keep in mind our graded benefit products with exception guaranteed issue, but our EIWL that I mentioned earlier pays the same commission as our Whole Life Deluxe and our Whole Life Premier. Once again, that's not traditionally what's being done with some of the other carriers. Excellent retention. We've had great experience with this marketplace because we feel like we understand it very well. EAP is something, as I mentioned, you need to use. And Joe has a lot of new agents. I know we've been putting agents on for Joe for quite a while. Good things are happening. Keep that in mind. And with that said in mind, I will shut up because I talk too much, and maybe we've got a Q&A. Or Zachary, anything to add?
I just add something real quick. Something I want to emphasize that Steve mentioned. On our final expense side, we do have those 4 products. Between those 4 products, you never have to walk away from an appointment due to their health reasons. You know, other than maybe budget or age, just health by itself, they'll have to walk away from a sale an appointment without a sale. And then for EAP, all 4 final expense plans, all 4 term plans, and our Excel test plan are all available on EAP. And then real quick, one last thing, when it comes to the Excel death benefit, Steve mentioned that it's a great second sale opportunity. It's very expensive. It is no more than $21.32 a month or $245 annually, so not much to add. And it's great not only for working professionals, but also those who may be in poor health, can't qualify for a lot of coverage. They can add Excel death benefit coverage without having to pay very much to add on top of their big policy.
Good. Thank you, Zach.
Yeah.
Turn it back to you, Joe.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
It's been a while since I've spoke with you, Zach. Anybody got any questions? I've got one text already. An agent used to write with you before, Steve, and he asked me a question. You had a ratio on your guaranteed issue compared to your simplified issue. Is that ratio still there, or can an agent write as much GI as he wants?
Yes, we do have a ratio. Typically, we created this, we wanted a 3-to-1 ratio. You need to write 3 non-GIWLs for every 1 GIWL. We do not hold that firm and fast, but I guess what we're trying to stray away from there is somebody writing, 100 GIWL apps and doing nothing else with it. We're going into, it's not to say that the product can't stand on its own, but I will say we're very liberal in terms of that 3-to-1 ratio. It's more of a deterrent to keep people from going into, as you might imagine, going into nursing homes and writing a bunch of people or age clinics or something like that, because that's not what the product's intended for from our end. So we're trying to use the 3-to-1 ratio to get everyone to look at our other products as well, because we have some great, we want a well-rounded book and portfolio. But yes, it does still exist, and we can work with you on that.
Okay, good. Does anybody have any questions? If you've got a question, do me a *2. Jay will open you up. You can ask Steve or Zach any questions you have. I got one more question that was texted into me. On the, did you say on the term product, on the DX, that you can write somebody who has schizophrenia? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah. The simple term when you deal select product, it does allow for those who have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, both of those, for immediate death benefit coverage, and I believe it's up to $50,000 for that plan.
Okay, so we got somebody that's got a little disorder, they have a little depression, and they're on a pill for diabetes. They still qualify for the immediate issue on the term DX with a face amount up to $50,000.
Yeah,
okay.
That is correct.
Okay.
Good answer, yeah. They can.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Something else is not going to.
Yeah, something else didn't knock it off, right?
Okay. Another question just came in. You guys have never had an RX list. Do you have an RX list for the term product coming out, or is that even something in the talkings?
A great question. I'll let Zach handle that.
That's published, and probably won't, just for the fact that when it comes to prescription medications, the prescription medication isn't what's going to knock them out. If you take a particular prescription, it's not a hard and fast yes and no, or yes or no. There are several medications out there that are used for multiple diagnoses, and a particular drug could be used to treat cancer, or could be used for something much more minor than cancer. So that's why we don't have one published. It's not the prescription that dictates how they what they qualify for. It's what their actual health conditions or their health history.
We do have Joe or whoever asked the question, we have an underwriting terminology chart that we put together that is out on the website, and we reference it sometimes in our email blast, that talks about various, kidney disease, what do we mean by that, neurological disorders, what does it include, but there's not a specific RX table. Because keeping that up to date has not been something we wanted to do.
Well, that's because it doesn't necessarily apply.
Yeah, true. That's around, but we danced around that answer, but I know other carriers do stuff like that, but as Zach said, sometimes we want to publish something we may be better than what the table says. Yeah.
Well, just to make you both feel good, some of the other carriers that we represent are also doing away with the RX list for the same reason. The actual trying to keep up to date and being out of date, and agents getting upset. So a couple carriers that I'm aware of that we represent that were very heavy into an RX list do not have one anymore. So here's a question I have. If you have a client that is on gabapentin for some type of neuropathy, yet it's not in conjunction with diabetes, is that okay for your simplified issue Premier, or will that be a deluxe acceptance?
Since it is the being used neurological disorder, that would be neither. That would more than likely be an express issue of whole life.
So neuropathy. So if they're taking gabapentin, it's not going to be the immediate issue. It's going to be the express issue whole life then.
That's correct. Yes, and yeah. Just to kind of go back. And we've had this question come up before where people have been prescribed to use gabapentin, but it's not being used for neuropathy. So that kind of is an example of why we don't look at that, just to kind of enforce it. But yeah, if it's for neuropathy, because that's a neurological disorder, that's a great incentive.
Yeah, part of the reason for that, Joe, is we're a yes/no app. Yes/no app makes it that way. Because I agree with you. You mentioned you hit it home with me, because I took gabapentin a couple years ago for a pinch nerve.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, unfortunately, say I can qualify for an immediate death benefit product is absurd, but yet we have to follow these rules because the reinsurers say we go this way. It's a yes/no app.
Gotcha. When you do the e-app, does the agent still need to do a point of sale interview with a underwriter?
Yeah, it is still required. Non-guaranteed issue products, everything other than the GIW, the guaranteed issue of life, and the excellent death product. Yeah, they all require personal history interviews. Now they don't have to necessarily be done at point of sale. It is preferable that they do it at point of sale for a myriad of reasons. Just because one, it's out of the way. You don't have to worry about whether or not the client's home. You don't have to worry about whether they're going to provide different answers to the interviewer than they did to your agent. So just by getting it wrapped up, submitting the e-app to us with the CHI, we're going to get it through the process much faster.
And I think it's much smarter, because you got them in that environment. You just want to do it, knock it out, and get them approved right then and there. Okay, one more question. Yes, star 2 if you got any questions, guys, because I'm gonna be wrapping the call up in about maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So, got a question? Do a star 2. Also, one more question I've got. If we have an agent that has somebody that speaks Spanish, do you have to set an appointment for a Spanish POS, or do you have somebody available all the time?
We should have somebody.
IBU are interviewed by our who does our phone interview PA guys, and they have a immediate access to a translation service, and so they can do that. While it makes a little longer phone interview, but they have immediate access to that.
Yeah, and several different language and dialects too. I mean, if it's spoken in the world, more than likely there's a translator available.
So if I was to call and I'm with a client who wants to speak Spanish, and they want to speak Spanish, we can just have them call the number, and then from there, what they'll do is that they'll sit and say they want a Spanish point of sale, and from there you'll get somebody on the phone with them. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's correct. And yes.
Just call 36557.
Yeah. Again, 866-333-6557. It's on the government of all of our applications as well as on the app itself.
Okay. Jay, is my hand up?
Joe Brewster did.
Joe,
Joe,
I see your hand was up and then it came down. Okay, he's there, Jay. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Josie. This is good morning to Zach and to Jay.
hey, Joey.
I love you guys. I've been doing this for many decades, and go you old school. For instance, what Joe said, he took that medication because of some frivolous thing. Any other company, I won't mention names, will automatically push the button decline. You guys seem like you're rational. Everything you said I agree with. Now, I had to go up there Sunday yesterday, so I did 2 of those money back ones, ROB. And everything you said about doing it, why it makes sense to me. It's very rational. I love you guys. But certain situations, they have to be seen on Sunday, which was yesterday. So, what I'm trying to say is all they have to do is wait for the phone call to come in. What I also told Steve or Zach, whoever wants to answer this, is if they don't call within a day or 2, because these people are working. So you give me the number, I think, and then I can call them up, and then they call their convenience. I don't have to be there, correct?
That's correct, yeah. If they're not available to do the PHI at point of sale, there'll be a place to let us know their home phone, business phone, cell phone.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, if they're available days, all sorts of things. And we do have a published list of when the interviewers are available. Monday through Friday, it's 8:30 to 8:30, regardless of time zone. If you're in the Eastern time zone, it's 11:30 at night. And if it's on Sundays, you can actually call ahead. If you know that they're going to only be available on a Sunday, you can call ahead and schedule an appointment with one of the interviewers, and they can be made available during a Sunday so you can get that wrapped up.
And they may give you a different number to call directly. A lot of interviewers will work, they get paid to do it, obviously. So.
Yeah, it's per call for them, I believe, and a lot of them work out of their house, so it's very easy for them to make themselves available on off hours.
Okay, a couple of things. I'm not one to mince words as far as criticizing companies, but it's very difficult to criticize your company. But there's one thing on Sundays, is there ever going to be a situation where you will have those telephone interviews available on Sunday?
That's a great question, Joe. It's one I dealt with last week, and we are considering it.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm so excited to talk to you guys because you keep such an open mind. You're like real human beings. Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, you're exactly right. That's what we did. We used to, you may recall, we used to not have phone interviews. They weren't open on the weekends. And we opened it up to Saturdays, and all of a sudden we're getting tons of calls on Saturdays, so we're kind of thinking the same thing. We need to, as some of our competitors have done, I've heard this over and over again, that they're running sales or meeting with clients on Sundays, and they can't do it with UHL, and because of that, we lose some sales. So it is definitely on the drawing board. We're looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are a couple of things, I don't want to take up too much time, but Josie, whether he'll admit it or not, is almost omniscient with prescriptions. He knows everything. I can't get into that. So what you said before, as far as knowing the prescriptions, you're not going to do a book, you don't have to know why. Because all I do, except on Sundays, I call up the phone and I do the risk assessment. You're the only company I ever deal with within a minute to pick up the phone. It's amazing. And they go, blah, blah, blah. I had one last week. The guy had testicular cancer 7 years ago, and he's going to be accepted. I haven't seen him yet. He's going to be accepted on the term insurance, ROP. And they told me right on the phone there's no mention of prescription, so it's amazing how great you guys are. Now, one more thing. This is very important. Can I mention any other companies? Josie?
That's not a call for me, yeah.
Josie, okay, let's just say it's the company I've been with, I used to hang out with Mom and Perkins. Let's just put it that way, okay? That's all I'm like Donald Trump.
You can just use move. Yeah, move. I was going to say move. You guys figure it out.
I was going to say that thing. I'm like Donald Trump. I'm not going to mention any mentions of it, finally. Anyways, I was in the home yesterday. This is amazing. I think I talked to Jay about this too, actually. And I wrote two yesterday, return of premium. And literally, the other company was $128 a month. Okay, United was $84. Same thing for the wife, she's a smoker. The other company was like about 80, and with United like about 54 months. It's an incredible the difference. I don't understand how you guys can do it. I shouldn't say anything because you'll probably raise the rates, but does anybody know that you have the best rate for the RFP in the country? Now, one more thing.
Yeah.
We know that.
Well, one more quick thing. I wrote one 2 weeks ago. The guy was 59. You're the only company in the country that'll take that old return of premium. It's amazing. Okay, good.
Good deal.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Anything else, Joe?
Anything else, Joe?
Well, I can go on and on because I love this country. I'll let you guys go ahead. Sorry to bore you. So have a great day, man. Thanks for coming on, Steve, man. Thanks.
Appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Anybody else, Joe?
Anybody else?
Okay, Zach and Steve, that's it. I've got nobody else who wants to talk. So I appreciate you taking time out of your day again. Zach, thank you for jumping on the call at the last moment. And Steve, as always, I appreciate all the stuff you do for us. And with that said, Steve, I'll let you and Zach end the call. And thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your attention. I want to hear them. So if you got to get feedback to us, give it to Joe, give it to Zach or me.
Yep.
You can do it through contacts are all available on the website. And appreciate your time in your business.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
The moderator has left the conference.
Bobby Kajander.